Hi everybody, Sara and Keith again with another installment of Weekly Thought Fuel with the Leaders Lyceum. Hey, we're talking about the final global factor in this four-part series on the global factors of Jungian personality type. And this one is, we use the words organizing and adapting. John Golden shifted that direction when he made the Golden assessment. If you're really familiar with the Myers-Briggs, this is judging and perceiving. So judging, organizing, perceiving, adaptive is kind of the way that plays out. The rest of you don't pay attention to that. So what organizers want to do is they have a preference for living life in a more planned and organized way. This is really about a life living. What's our preferences for living life? So organizers planned, I've got a direction that I'm going, planned, organized, orderly, whatever the hell kind of way that we want to talk about.
Guess who's not an organizer?
You're going to stop that?
Nope.
All right, Lydia's not going to stop this. You're really not going to stop it?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm adapting.
So that's really good. All right. I'm going to go with this for just a second. So adaptives have a preference for living a more spontaneous and flexible life. Sara, this shows up both at work and at home, doesn't it?
Yeah, so this is one where I think we see it more, and we talk about it more in terms of our life outside of work, because at work we have to be organized in some sense to get stuff done, right? You've got to submit to structures and deadlines and processes to meet your goals and get stuff turned in.
Right.
But then, as we all know, things don't always go according to plan, and so you've got to have some level of flexibility to be able to adapt and change plans when that comes up. So this is one, if you haven't figured it out, Keith is an adapter, I am an organizer, and we are both very much our spectrums. At home, this comes out, I think, probably stronger because we have more control over our environment.
Mm-hmm.
And so thinking about, how do you like to plan your vacations or not plan your vacations? How do you like to structure your weekends? Do you have to-do lists, or do you just wake up and see what happens? Like I said, I'm an organizer. My husband is an organizer, but I put him to shame because I organize our spices alphabetically, so it's easy to find them, and he thinks that's the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah, not compared to what I think. Hey, it's really interesting. I had an organizer in one of our groups recently say, but you don't understand, I'm totally different on the weekend. And I said, okay, give me an example of what you're doing tomorrow. And she said, okay, well, from 10 to 12, I'm not doing anything. So she had planned her adaptivity and her spontaneity in a way that it was like totally structured. Hey, you know what? This is a hard one to do. I think becoming aware of these preferences, and not only of the strengths associated with our preferences, is very important, because we know how to leverage them differently if that's the case. But more than any of the other global factors, I think it's important to understand our weaknesses and the implications that these have. Mm-hmm. And maybe not even so much to make us just well-rounded people, which we will become well-rounded people, but because when we live into our preferences, whether you are an adapter or you are an organizer, it's really hard for people who are not built like you if you're insisting on having your way. Yeah. It makes life not fun, not peaceful, not anything. So, I guess really see if you can't name what it is for you. Identify tension with people in your family or people that you work closely with, and see if you can't appreciate maybe in a new way what they bring to the table.
Yeah, and maybe this weekend try to do some planned spontaneity if you're like me, or some structured activities if you're like Keith.
Yeah. Have a great week.